Ladies and gentlemen, members of the Factory Town community, welcome back to Factory Town. That's right. Has the town ever been this freaking happy? I don't know. Frankly, I don't. I don't think so. 806 happiness, I think, at the peak or thereabouts. Truthfully, I've never seen a town this happy. Why is the town this happy? Mostly because we've just started offering specialty goods at the specialty goods store. Look at all of these happiness values. Also, we have like got a tremendous amount of houses now, and hopefully maybe in this episode we'll be able to hit level 10 in the base. But you know what, if not, it'll almost certainly be in the next episode. I'm very happy with the amount of progress that we've got. We just need to make this Omnistone stuff. How do we make Omnistone? It's in a mana reactor. There is some research that is required for that. Speaking of research, we're actually doing it. And it looks like we need to swap out this barn. That's good. Let's just swap the barn out, shall we? Which is the barn that's got all of the crystals in. There we go. This feels very cheaty, doesn't it? And totally against the spirit of the game. However, it bloomin' well works, doesn't it? And it is a mechanic. I'm not even debating you. It's real, it's here, it's live, it's happening before our eyes. That almost came together as a little bit of a song. What a surprise. I tried to pull it back there, but unfortunately it didn't work. Anyway, yes, where did we leave off? What are we gonna try and do? Well, a couple of things that we did get done in the last episode. We now have a fully operational enchanter setup up here. Probably want to see if we can expand this. I mean, there are a couple of things. For example, these wards probably would not be too difficult to start producing. Polished stone we already get. Reinforced plank, that might be a little bit more challenging to get set up. But you know what? That's definitely something that we want to get entered into production. What about a health potion? Maybe a health potion, to be honest. Maybe a health potion. A water ring or a fire ring or something like that. That would be good. The enchanted book, we've actually already got the enchanted book being made. I tell you what, why don't I see if I can throw down two of these enchanter things, and we'll say, yep, you can make the ward and you can make the ward too. Now this is of course going to be a nightmare in its own way to get power over there, etc. But you know what? We'll worry about that a little bit later on. I'm just doing this as a reminder to both myself and to you, dear viewer, about what I need to do over the course of this episode, over the course of this run, over the course of this series. Either way, iron is looking good. However, where we are not looking good is in the forging department. It's come to my attention. It has come to my attention that this situation with this singular mine, which is doing the vast majority of our fuel production for literally every process that actually is important. All of the magic forges, all of the actual forges, all of the other forges over here, everything is reliant on this single mine. So you know what? I think this is a great opportunity for us to see if we can try and transition to magma. Now, magma is made at a fire shrine, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just get this straight, because there are two different things. There is fire shrine and there's a fire temple, right? So the fire temple appears on the map in its native form over here. Actually should be something that we get set up, and I hope to get it set up over the course of this episode. But that's the fire temple. That's okay. I'm okay with that as it stands. We'll definitely use this firestone. We'll get the elemental reactor set up that we've got over here. We'll get all of that sorted. Don't even worry about that. However, after that, we will require, I believe, a fire shrine. And we require fire purification in order to get that research done. Now, fire purification requires that we use fire crystals, which are produced at the fire temples. So, for a multitude of reasons, we're going to have to get fire crystal production set up. Right? You with me so far? I hope you're with me so far. I hope that you're with me so far. Okay, I think I've got an idea about how we want to do this. First of all, let's level the playing field a little bit, shall we? Let's put it down to, like, that level or something. Not super essential. Right, the fire... Okay, the fire temple has decided very, very awkwardly that it is not able to... It is not able to adapt to the area around. So that's fine. Let's see if I can try and terraform everything else to this level. End up throwing away a good couple of 1,000 coins there. It's fine. Not bitter about it. Let's just throw away a couple more whilst I'm at it, eh? Sounds totally fine. Then we're gonna grab just the mine setup. It's very, very similar setup. We've got like 100, no, even more than that, 200 people to go. 200 people in terms of spare labor. So we don't really need to worry about that at all. Cannot afford. What do we need? We need more reinforced planks. Oh yes, the reason that reinforced planks are not being produced is because we're not able to get enough iron into the workshop. Honestly, whenever there is demand on either the machine shops over here to make rails, or there is increased demand from something else, all of the iron production just disappears. Our iron backlog disappears like instantaneously. The number of reinforced planks that we need to produce in order to satisfy the demands of the town, and also to satisfy my own demands, obscenely high. Obscenely high. So there we go. Also, I'm going to decrease this for a reason that will become clear in just a second. Cool. Throw down a silo, rotate it around a little bit, and let's throw in a belt up here, because this belt, hopefully, is where we are going to store the crystals. So we should just be able to move the crystals reasonably easily. I say reasonably easily. You don't like that, do you, video game? You don't like that. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Let's see if we can try and put in an intermediate drop-off point. How about that? A silo. We did it for bread and it worked fairly well. So that to there. No, you're not even happy with that. Is it difficult for you to path around this area, like the belt that I've placed over here? It may very well be the case that the belt over here is not high enough. I don't think that is the case, to be honest. But maybe that's the issue, that it can't. For goodness sake, I never learn, do I? I never ever learn. Always drag from the top down, because the top down just works. Yeah. So then over there. Okay, so that is absolutely adequate. Absolutely adequate. Got the cargo boat over here. Again, let's try. Okay, so it works on that occasion. That's good. Excellent. And then it's just not worked. There is painfully little that I can actually do to compel this boat to move over here. Boats are highly buggy. If I move you into the, is it because you're too high? This may be too high. It may be a little bit too high. If that's the case, I'm very sorry. Okay. Try again. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. So we got that working. Let's see if we can get the next piece of the puzzle set up. This is definitely not too high, is it? Oh, actually, that might be too high. Although it doesn't look too high. And by too high, I mean elevated off the water. I suspect that was inferred. You're a smart cookie. You managed to get that one. Okay, so that's the crystals. Excellent. We really usually are not limited by the amount of crystals that we can. We're usually not limited by the number of crystals that we can supply. Yeah, we need a lot of crystals, but to be honest, I can just put more boats onto this supply route if it turns out that we don't have enough crystals. Cool. Alright, Firestone. Let's get that going. We're actually running out of blue coins. We're running out of blue coins quickly. Very, very quickly. I'm concerned, to say the least. So that goes over there. Wonderful. Excellent, excellent. Fire ether. Fire ether. Good stuff. Let's output to a barn. Right. And we'll output via there, via there. Nice. Okay, so mana power needs to get sorted. I think that we just want to store the fire crystals for now, so we will just very easily get the mana belt set up exactly as I talked about. And then that goes in there just like so. And then after that, upon the fire crystals being created, we're just going to stick them into a barn. Yeah, I mean, it's not a very sexy route. Don't get me wrong. But it is functional. It is functional. It does work. Right, mana power. We do actually have a mana refresh station over here, which is quite nice because that will prove to be useful, no doubt. Yeah, I think this is the route that we want to go. Where do we need to provide power to? I need to be very careful that I don't provide mana power to the barn. Done that before. There we go. Very simple. Keep it nice and tight here, please, potato. Don't mess it up. And that goes in there. Yeah, absolutely. Just that simple, to be honest. Just that simple. Could definitely do with a couple of these wonderful splitter blocks so that we don't end up sending all of the refresh mana crystals straight ahead. We want to split them. But that's fine. Cool. All right, so let's see if we can try and make a little bit more fire ether. I don't know why we're not able to make a little bit more fire ether. Ah, it's because we don't have enough mana crystals actually in the system. To be honest, completely fair. And that's our first fire crystal that's just been assembled. I can tell because I have just received an achievement, which is quite nice. Okay, you know what we can do in order to bolster our fire crystal production? Also, why am I not making more fire crystals? Oh, flippin' heck. The mine has run out of shards. That's really not good. That's really not good. Okay, down there, down there. It's not a long-term solution, but it's at least gonna sort us out in the short term. This is a very, very key mine for us. We need a lot more crystals than we've currently got, to be honest. We've only got 6 crystals over there. Right. Is there a big crystal shard patch somewhere that I can maybe supply? Big patch over here. Bit far away. Yeah, a couple of decent patches over here, to be honest. These might be our best bet. The other one that I did spot, but I sort of ruled it out because it was too far away, was this one over here. It's not too far away, but it is far. You know, it is a fair distance. Can I move this water temple? Oh my goodness, I can actually move the water temple. Oh, that's pretty broken, actually. I feel. Right. I mean, the other alternative is that we see if we can try and get pickaxes added to the mines. How are we doing pickaxe wise? How are the pickaxes over here? The pickaxes have been successful. I don't know if the ore deposits are replenishing. I don't know if they're replenishing with like 500 resources in them. It certainly seems that way, which is quite good. Maybe we just leave that mine there and see if we can supply some pickaxes, because we've already got the pickaxes like over here anyway, right? You know what? I'm kind of leaning into that idea, as crazy as it sounds. Right, speaking of crazy sounds, this is what I'm gonna do. You know how I talked about in the last episode how I wanted my default type of belt to become metal. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that commitment. It didn't last very long, did it? Didn't last very long at all. Right. So, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. It's going to be another epic potato infrastructure project. There are a lot of them. We're going to run a route parallel to the train track. The thing about this is that when we eventually do dual this train track, which is going to happen at some point. Well, I say it'll happen at some point. It'll probably happen at some point. If we do end up dueling it, let me decrease this a little bit. If we do end up dueling it, then we can duel it on the other side. So we're going to duel it on this side. So the train will have the opportunity to be dueled. Right. Over there. Nice. Cool. Good stuff. Now, do I want to go up and over? I think I want to go up and over this line. If I go up and over the train track, I'll only have to come down once. Whereas if I go under, then I'll have to go under and then up and then down. If that makes sense. Does that make any modicum of sense? I think the answer is that we're going to end up going up. I have no idea what the clearance rate is for trains. Drag down, potato. Learning is a wonderful thing. Right, and then we're gonna see if we can get, what, like 3 bits of arch over there. That goes down over there, and then we see if we can just magically drag this over here. I mean, that is a really wacky as anything route. I do not want to at all, by the way, I do not want to at all interfere with the shipping routes over here. If I interfere with the shipping routes, then we're going to have bigger problems. I mean, that's not bad, actually, right? That's not bad. That's definitely tall enough for boats to get underneath. So we're not going to affect the boating algorithm at all, which is kind of what I'm hoping for. Okay, the pickaxes again put a little bit of extra strain on our iron, put a little bit of extra strain on our fuel system, but that's okay. If we sort out magma, then we should be totally grand. Right. Fire crystals, we managed to accumulate rather a large number of fire crystals, to be honest. We're still not getting many fire ether thingies made because mostly we just do not have the mana power. We do not have the mana power. Let's have a little look at the mana overlay again. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. It's not good at all. That's okay. I know exactly how we're going to fix this. Right. Have we returned... We haven't even returned many... mana crystals to the barn. I tell you what, we do have a barn full of mana crystals over here, which is going into the research, but no, apparently that's an abject lie. I don't even have... Do I have any mana crystals anywhere? No, turns out that the demand for mana crystals is so huge that I do not have any mana crystals anywhere. That's kind of obscene, actually. And also, we're out of coal. How could I have expected anything different? How could I have expected anything different? It all makes perfect sense now. It all makes perfect sense why nothing's working. Because everything is reliant on fuel, and we do not have any fuel. It's not necessarily the fact of the matter that we've got, you know, too little coal underground. No, on the contrary, it is entirely due to the fact that we've got too many demands placed on a single belt. And that is causing quite literally all of the problems. But you know what? We can solve this if we literally just get mana crystals. So, mana crystals? What am I talking about? Magma. Magma. Whether in a crystal form or not. If such a thing does or could exist. I have no idea. Yeah. Either way, I think that's just the ticket that we need. How are we doing over here? We got no crystals over here. Wow, we are literally out of crystals. That's obscene. That is absolutely obscene. All right, fuel's looking a little bit better now. Have we got a steam boost for all of these? Can we even get a steam boost? Apparently not. Apparently not. Yeah. I think this is problematic. Do I want to crank up the number of workers? I think I do. Short-term solution, long-term problem. Yeah, okay, so crank that up to the max. That will at least pad out the number of crystals that we have. We won't need these crystals forever, by the way, but we will need a heck of a lot more than what we've got right now. Our happiness has dropped. Quite significantly, actually, from its max, but that's okay. We can just about tolerate not extreme perfection. That is fine by my books. Okay. We're starting to backlog a little tiny bit of shards over here, which is excellent. A tiny little bit of shards. How are shards measured? Piles? No, hold on. These are the shards. These are the crystals. Piles of crystals? What is the official measurement for crystals? I have to clarify that. 1 Heisenberg? Pop culture reference for you. That's right. Go home and sleep on that one. Again, we're out of coal over here. This is not good. Didn't realize that this had occurred. That's somewhat of a problem. I think, yeah, we were using this harvester drill over here, but that harvester drill has ceased its usefulness. Ceased its usefulness? If only that was a thing. Right, give me stone. I'm assuming, by the way, that there is a coal supply under here. There absolutely is. Excellent. Absolutely is. Let's expand out and let's grab it. Cool. Right, so then... Where do you go, wagon? Oh, I don't want to end up blocking one of these wagons in here. Where do they take the resource? It's over to that kitchen over there. Okay, move out here. Right, excellent. Right over there. Cool. Return the veggie stew production, please. The veggie stew production is actually quite important. Do I need to crank up the number of workers that we have working in this mine? I sincerely hope not. I actually think that maybe one singular worker will provide enough fuel for everything here. Depends on the draw order of the wagons, obviously, but... I mean, everything's operational at this moment in time, so that's fine, right? Cool. Alright, so that made a little bit of a difference there. You know what? Crank that up to 2. Crank that up to 2 workers. There's no downside. There's no downside. We've got... I don't know why I'm being stingy. We've got so many flipping workers. We've got so many flipping available workers that there is no reason... There is no reason not to occasionally just decide to throw a couple of thousand workers in here and there. Right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a very, very inadvisable move. I'm gonna divert all of the excess crystals into a storage silo over here, and then I'm going to plug this storage silo directly into the mainframe. That's right. That sounded like technical jargon. It was supposed to be technical jargon. But that's okay. Okay, so as soon as we've accumulated, or as soon as we've moved all of these crystals around, the reason, by the way, that I don't want to just move this silo is that this silo is linked to the boats, and if I move this silo, then it might break the boats, and I don't want to break the boats. I don't want to break the boats at all. So we're just gonna leave this like this at the moment, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna plug it right in over here. Also, is that a... Oh, there's a barn just full of empty crystals over here. Okay, you know what? I take it back. This is a dreadful idea. Okay, don't even worry about it. We've got a barn that is full of crystals. Who left this line around here? Who left this line around here? I don't know, but I'm eternally grateful to whoever it was that left this over here. Right, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna grab some spicy belt. We're gonna grab some metal belts, and then we're gonna drag it down, and we're gonna connect it. We're gonna connect it over to the mana transmitter, and that's gonna be able to introduce a huge number of crystals to the system. So it's going to both continue to refresh the old crystals, and then it's also going to introduce a bunch of new crystals. The new crystals are super, super important to ensure that we've got enough mana power to deal with the fire stuff over here. The ether. And it looks like we're going to be backlogging over here in just a second anyway, so almost all of the crystals will be devoted to the fire area. It already looks like we're at a fine position, to be honest. Nice. Okay, I'm happy with that. I think that is... Yeah, look, that's a full belt. That's a full belt of fire ether that's coming in right there. I mean, we've got a decent number of crystals, but, you know, we could obviously do with many, 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 many more. And so that's what I'm hoping we can achieve. That is what I'm hoping we can achieve. Blue coins ain't looking so hot. Ain't looking so hot. Thankfully, we use red coins in the fire temple, and red coins are something that we have in absolute abundance. Absolute abundance. It's actually kind of disgusting how many we've got. That's fine. Okay, so I suspect that that's probably enough. That's probably enough crystals on the system, to be honest. Move this back a little bit. Yeah. And in fact, tell you what I'll do. I'll actually just plumb this directly into... I'll plumb it directly into the research network over here. So we can just finish off this mana reactor research. We're very, very close to getting there. Might as well throw a few extra crystals towards getting that completed. How are we doing over here? We are actually out of mana shards. Hey, look at this. Look at this. This is brilliant. This is brilliant. Okay, the mana reactor, excellent. Fire temple, water temple, earth temple, air temple, etc. So we've already got one temple of each element type. However, we will hopefully be able to get more if indeed that is required. Why is it that we need more shards? Why is that, truthfully, the problem for us? I don't actually understand why that's the issue here. But you know what? We're going to get the belt sped up again. I always talk about why I should have metal belt as the new base type of belt. However, I never heed my own lessons. I never even listen to what I'm saying. That would be a great start, wouldn't it? If I just, like, if I listened to what I was saying and then followed my own advice. Very much one of those instances where it's like, do as I say, not as I do sort of thing. Which I never really understood. Because, let's be frank, people are always best at giving advice to people other than themselves. It's the human condition, man. Also, yeah, this is where all of our blue coins are going, by the way. Blue coins are going down the drain in the Magic Forge, which makes me think, hey, the apothecary, almost said it incorrectly. The apothecary needs more attention. Needs more attention. I mean, the apothecary is... This is a good supply of ointment. It's a good supply of ointment here, folks. It looks not too unimpressive. The only issue is that we're not really transporting enough fish oil. Yeah, you're only transporting a little bit of fish oil. How can we transport more fish oil? Right, see if we can transport a little bit more fish there. Okay, here's what I think we're gonna do. I don't even think we should buffer fish over here. I think we straight up need to just direct fish input. That's right, you heard it here first, folks. Direct fish input. Copyright, patent, Orbital Potato Limited 2020. Direct fish input to both kitchens over here. Direct fish input, actually, is not enough fish. Can you believe that? It's not actually enough fish. We got to get double direct fish input. It's because we've got so many people that are so happy. Look at that. Look at that level of happiness. Either way, if we're able to solve this apothecary problem, and the problem is fish oil primarily, if we're able to produce more medicinal salves, Sorry, medical wraps. Completely different thing there. I don't know what I was talking about. Either way, if we're able to get more of these wrap things, then we will be golden. Yeah. And it's all reliant on fish. Can you believe it? Right. Let's get as many fish as we possibly can. This is actually kind of embarrassing. This is actually kind of embarrassing. Now, is there like a fish mining overlay? No. No, that's not the case. There's no fish mining overlay. Also, it doesn't look like the fishery actually... It doesn't draw down on the fish supply. It just draws down on the water supply in the area. Yeah. Interesting. Place next to water to allow automatic harvesting of fish. It's that simple, folks. It's that simple. It's that freaking simple. Right, let's do that. That doesn't really guarantee us... That really doesn't guarantee us a full belt of fish either way, but it gives us more fish. Okay, double fishery setup. Only one person in this fishery. Don't want to go too OTT. But that's fine. Cool. How are we doing shard production now? Shard production looks like we're recovering. We're starting to amass a whole bunch of shards. Also, how do I build a mana reactor? It's possible now, isn't it? Okay, I require 200 reinforced planks. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to increase my storage over here. There we go. Upgrade that again. Brilliant. So we should just amass more reinforced planks that are being kept exclusively for me. We're still on our journey. We're still on our flipping journey to get mana tiles. Mana tiles? I keep saying mana tiles. Whenever I say mana tiles, just assume that I mean magma. I don't know why I'm having such difficulty trying to explain what I say. Sometimes, you know, your brain just doesn't want to work in the way that you want it to work. When you come into contact... Well, when I come into contact with my brain, there's an obvious problem. But what I actually meant to say there was when you come into conflict with your brain, there can be even more serious problems. There is some, I don't know, deep, meaningful, emotional point that I think I'm trying to make here about conflict with your brain and, you know, the struggles of living in 2020 and the isolation that you feel or something. But, you know, I feel like I've made light of this now, so I don't think that there is a takeaway from this. So if indeed you were looking for a resolution to that discussion topic, or even a resolution to that sentence, I do apologize. You'll be left wanting. Cool. Blue coins, blue coins, blue coins, blue coins. I'm really, really hoping that that's going to be enough to get us back on the straight and narrow in terms of blue coins, to be honest. I'm really, really, really hoping. We need more herbs. Can you flippin' believe that? How is it that we need more herbs? Speaking of, is it possible for me to get the next level of belt? Because this is an area where it's like we're just not producing enough herbs, but I don't really want to do anything more. Air purification. Okay, air purification is a bit of a pain in the backside. Okay, speaking of pain in the backside, what have we got? Oh my goodness, there's so much more research that I did not anticipate. Okay, so these fire temples, we haven't actually unlocked these fire temples. That's fine. Fire shrine. Now, I need the fire shrine. I need the fire shrine. I don't need the fire temple. I need the fire shrine. Omni temple. I don't need an omni temple. Okay, fire purification. Let's see if we can go for that. Fire purification, fire purification, fire purification. Excellent. We've got loads and loads of crystals that are just chilling out over here. That's excellent. Let me pick up all of the resources from the belt over there. And then that barn can be deleted as it's entirely empty. Need to remember that I've got a barn full of crystals. Right. And now, let's move this barn right into place over here. And we can place down a brand new barn for all of the waiting fire crystals right here. Nice. Okay, happy with that. That's looking decent. So these fire crystals should immediately populate the schools, and that's going to give us the fire purification research. Magic rails, magic rail tiles, fine. I'm okay with that. However, what I'm really interested in is the fire shrine, and I'm going to be very interested to see if that's a bit of research that we need to do, or if it's just the fact that we unlock the fire shrine. We can probably have a little look here. If we have a little look, we require fire purification. Okay, so we're actually just going to straight up unlock the fire shrine, which is great because we're going to unlock it really, really soon. Nice. Happy with that. What's the issue here? Why have we not got mana power here? We ain't got mana power here. Where have all our crystals gone? We just don't have enough crystals on rotation, apparently. Is that the issue? That looks like the issue, to be honest. Okay, well, you know what? It's a good thing that I've got a barn right over here, which we can use to inject loads of crystals into the system. All of these systems are very, very... I mean, I was going to say manual dependent, but that's not really what I mean. They take a lot of manual effort in order to get right. But that's okay. That's okay. It's a price that I'm perfectly willing to pay, given that crystals really don't need that much. They really don't need that much interference once we sort of start with them. It's fine. Also, I can redo this little area over here. There we go. Just let the crystals flow through here just for a second. And then I'm going to use this as an opportunity to actually refresh my splitter setup. So what we're going to do is going to come down this way, come down this way, come down this way, and we're going to split 3 ways as opposed to splitting half of it and then splitting half of it again. So that's just a much more even distribution of mana crystals that are going to be going to each of the enchanters, which are making the books. Not like it really matters. We've got 250 books times 4 stored in this barn. So look, we're in a fine position. And dare I suggest that we will be okay. We will be okay regardless of what happens. The one thing that I do want to do is actually modify this belt and get that all moved to metal belt. Cool. Air purification's another bit of tech that I'm pretty interested in using. Speaking of air purification, are we backlogging? Oh, lovely. Yeah. Brilliant. We'll build that in just a sec. Are we backlogging air crystals? We are indeed. We're doing our best. It takes a long time, actually. It takes a long time because this production speed is not modified by the population happiness bonus, which is at the moment sitting at plus 190%, which is really, really nice. Anyway, let's get the shrine built. Let's get the fire shrine. I don't know why, by the way. It's different from... Oh my goodness, I almost ran out of... That's crazy. I actually almost ran out of fire crystals over there. We'll build the fire shrine on Fire Island. So we input firepower and we get magma. Okay. That's good, actually. That's really, really good. That's really, really, really good. Do you know what that means for us? I think that means we're gonna have a magma production area over here. Yeah, okay. I think this is exactly what we want. Okay. So, what did it cost me to build the fire shrine? I don't actually know. I didn't actually pay attention. 20 fire crystals. Problem is, the fire crystals take such a darn long time to make. I cannot copy the fire temple yet, even though I wish I could. Alright, well, that is what it is. Do we want to do any more research at this moment in time? Not really. In order to unlock the fire temple, I need an Omni Stone. We're not ready to do Omni Stones quite yet. We're getting there, though. We're getting there. I mean, I can build a mana reactor for reference, can't I? It's always good to have a reference building somewhere. Right, stick that down in the center of the base. Take it down to 0 people. No reason to at this moment in time. An Omni Stone, as you can imagine, consumes every single type of stone. And 8 mana power. And 30 seconds. And then we produce an Omni Stone. We can add a Fire Booster. The Fire Booster, by the way, is 100% production speed bonus when the energy is powered by crystal energy. But we need to power it with firepower. Firepower doesn't... I mean, it's not as cool as it actually sounds. It's pretty cool, but it's not firepower, if you know what I mean. Either way. Yeah. Right, so what I'm thinking of doing is we just have a very, very simple setup here. I do want as many possible fire shrines as we can get, because I basically want to replace the entirety of this coal flow with buckets of magma. It's literally that simple. It's literally that simple. It's literally that simple, but it's no doubt going to be more complex than that. You know what I could try and do in the meantime? I could try and unlock air purification, because I'm really, really interested in this magic conveyor belt here. I think I'm going to do it. Let's see if we can do it. Let's get the air purification, air purification, air purification. The fire crystals, look, I'm going to end up just picking them up off the belt. There's only 3 left there, so that's totally fine. Move the barn over here. See if we can move this barn over there. Manual barn maneuvers. It does feel highly illegal, but it's actually fine. Yeah, I think that should be more than enough crystals to satisfy all of the research demands. So that's looking good. That's looking good. Happiness is pretty much returned to 800, which is great. Blue coins, I just don't have anything. I just don't have anything which sells for a lot of blue coins. What sells for a lot of blue coins here? The water ring? The water ring requires a water crystal, doesn't it? If I'm not mistaken. The ward sells for purple coins. The water ring requires water power. It's not actually the craziest idea in the world. Requires polished stone and gold. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Let's see. Water ring. 30 coins. I mean, it's a lot of coins. Okay, polished stone. I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do all that time ago. I'm gonna start using this as my default type of belt. Unbelievable, eh? There we go. Okay. So that's what we need over there. We need gold. We need gold over here. We can probably get that set up too. We also need... this power grid is going to be a mess, isn't it? The wards require just regular mana power. Nice. Okay. We've unlocked air purification. We've unlocked the magic conveyor belt. Unlocked the air booster as well. Stamina spellbook. I'm not bothered about the stamina spellbooks, or any of the spellbooks for that matter. Let me have a look at what it costs to build the magic conveyor belt. I suspect that it's probably done in a magic forge or an enchanter. It's done in a magic forge. Right. So the magic rail tile. The magic rail tile. Also, I haven't even investigated this mechanical rail nonsense. Probably don't even want to. The magical rail tile consumes a fire crystal to make. The magic conveyor belt consumes an air crystal. Okay, so more air crystals is going to be essential going forward. For sure. For sure. I mean, is there anything else that I want to do? I mean, I can do earth purification. I cannot do water purification quite yet. Literally only unlocks the Earth Shrine Protection Spellbook and the Earth Booster. Ah, look. You know what? Screw it. We'll do it anyway. Move that barn back over there. Where's my Earth? There we go. Right, so. do not allow these two piles to be drained, because it actually only takes like 100 crystals in order to do the research that we require, and so there's no point in throwing extra crystals into the mix, given that they are so time consuming to produce. Yeah. So we'll leave that there. That's fine. Okay, blue coins still in a dodgy place here. Unhappy with this. Okay, let's add a steam booster. That's the least we could do. Add a steam booster over here. Give me a steam overlay. And give me a splitter. Or two. How's our steam power production? Our steam power production is looking good, to be honest, but it could be looking better. Yeah, let's get that set up over there. And then disconnect this. I want as many outputs coming from the building as possible. There we go. I think that's a little bit more well managed. A little bit more well managed, I will say. Cool. All right, so the steam boosters are telling me that we have nowhere near enough herbs. And that is so darned irritating. That is so unbelievably darned irritating, isn't it? It's literally herbs that we're after here. I mean, there is an option for a fourth belt in here. Wonderful, we did it. Earth Shrine. Set up. Let's move this barn back into position on Earth Island. Apparently everywhere is getting its own island now. Who knew? There's nothing else that we can really do at this moment in time, is there? No. Nothing, not even the water purification. But that's fine. I mean, I don't really care about water purification. It's not a big deal. The only reason that I maybe care about it is because of the fact that I need the water purification crystals for this. This is another nightmare that I don't even want to address at this moment in time. The reinforced plank is just a massive pain in the backside to deal with. Have I managed to acquire enough fire crystals to perhaps start work on the magma area? I think I have, to be honest. Right. Here's the idea. Here's the idea with the mana area. I want to have a very short loop. Very short loop. That basically deals with reasonably few fire crystals. What am I doing? Mana receiver. I need a mana transmitter. Yeah, so we want a very short loop. Also, this can be moved back, as I'm assuming that we are now full on the... Yeah, we're full on the loop here. Thankfully, there is still a little bit of... There's thankfully still a little bit of movement in the system. Not much, however. Yeah, that's on me. Shouldn't have let things get out of hand too much. There we go. Take a couple of crystals off the belt there, and that should free up a little bit of space. Yeah, you don't want it to be this chock-a-block. You don't want a backlog of spent crystals. That's no good for anyone, to be honest. Yeah, absolutely not good. Absolutely not good. But that's okay. I can keep an eye on this. Pick up a couple of those just to be on the safe side there. Right. I think that's enough. Cool. Okay, so we got a little stockpile of 250 crystals over there. That is totally fine. Okay, back to the fire area over here. So we want a system. Let me just flatten this area out just a smidgeroony. Okay. Wonderful. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, so the transmission point will be here. We're gonna have a recharging station set up. Yeah, like over here. Nice. Receiving point can be right about there. Let's remove these herbs. Let's get a bunch of fast belt, because that is the default type of belt that we're using. That's right. You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first. I'm a changed man. I've realized the errors of my ways. Right. Excellent. Ditch that grabber. It's simply not necessary. Okay, now we need to create a very, very, very short but succinct loop. We're also going to move across the barn that's over here. Place down a brand new barn. Alright, so we're going to allow those crystals to continue to propagate. And this can be placed over here. And we can have like an injection system. There we go. Into the mana transmitter they go. Thankfully, there is no mana piping around this area, which is grand news. Kind of by design, to be fair. Before we use all of these fire things, though, we're gonna put down some more shrines. 2 more shrines. It's gonna reduce our stockpile of crystals, but that's fine. It's a price that I'm unfortunately having to pay. Right, so from here we come out this way. Right, that is a very, very, very nifty setup right there. Can I get a splitter, please? Right. Okay, let's give this a shot. Then afterwards, we reform and regroup. Right over there. Excellent. That works perfectly. That works absolutely perfectly. Now, will this be enough crystals to maintain a loop? Well, I mean, it will be, to be honest. Will absolutely be. However, we probably want more crystals in the loop there. We almost certainly want more mana shrines, or more fire shrines over here, should I say. We really, really do. Okay. I think what the best solution to this is that I think we're going to redesign this area slightly, because I do still want to use the coal mine if I don't have enough mana. Mana. You keep saying it, potato, and you keep being an idiot. If I don't have enough magma coming through. Right? So. Storage at the top. Magma. Coal. And coal, right? So you see the situation here. Can I do this with chutes, actually? Kind of cool, actually. That's very, very cool, in fact. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so the magma comes in. Is it coming in fast enough? Do we need to get dedicated belts? Oh, I'd love it if we needed to get dedicated belts. Oh, that would just fill me with joy. Oh, that would be fantastic. Dedicated belts, by the way, mean that we're gonna have a lot of coal. A lot of coal. I just can't say the right word. Whenever I say magma wrong, there's something that just grates in my brain. I just cannot say it for some obscene reason. It's not even a difficult word to say. Magma. I suspect it's even been used as a vocal exercise, a warm-up vocal exercise from time to time. Either way, let's get a dedicated series of belts. No. No, even more no. Right, there we go. Dedicated series of belts there. We're probably not going to be looking at this sort of flow rate for forever, but at least whilst the going is good. Potato, what is your problem? Please. This is a disaster of a belt. Disaster of a belt. Oh man. Oh, it's I see what the problem is here. I see what the problem is. We need some splitters. Right, so that will be fine. That will be very, very fine. Cool. Okay, that's looking really, really good. What we need to do is make sure that we get more crystals offloaded. I think I'm actually going to put down a backup receiver so that we can optimize for high throughput, as it really is looking very, very good. We need a couple more crystals on the system, and in an ideal world we're actually able to process slightly more crystals than this. So let's see if we can introduce a couple of extra rechargers. Nice. Okay. It's a little bit cramped, but that's fine. Again, we've now got the ability to deal with a huge number. Okay, and now magma is the problem. Excellent. Okay, now, because of the way that I've set it up in this barn, first of all, we'll get it upgraded to the maximum level, as this is a very, very important barn now. Because of the way that I've got it set up, we're first going to draw down on our magma supplies, and then we're going to draw down on our coal supplies. So we should always have plenty, I say plenty of magma. We're not always going to have plenty of magma. Why is that not the case? Maybe a grabber can only draw from one source in the storage bin. I don't actually know. I do not know. That is a big question mark in my mind. Right, well, the good news is it's an easy fix. There we go. That in there. I say it's an easy fix. It's not an easy fix. It's just not a fix that I'm particularly... I was going to say particularly bothered about changing, but it's not necessarily the case. I definitely want to change it. It's just coal is satisfactory. Magma is better. Even if we get the occasional bit of magma going in, then that is positive. You know, that is a positive thing to see. The occasional bit of magma on the belt will certainly accelerate, because I mean it'll certainly, I mean, it doubles the amount of fuel. It doubles the amount of fuel that that coal has. So it is a huge difference. So one single magma bucket will power a forge for twice as long as a bit of fuel will, as a bit of coal will. So as soon as we start to see magma propagate a little bit more through this system, we should be fine. Hopefully, we'll get to a point where we're going to be able to use nothing but magma. Although that point is still some ways away. Yeah, this recharging setup is nowhere near big enough. It's just not. Look at that. We've got 4 crystals in each, 4 depleted fire crystals in each of the rechargers. And it's hardly scratching the surface, is it? Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Right. Well, you know what? In times of desperation, desperate times, desperate measures, etc. Let's see what we can do here. That's fine too. So I'm gonna actually copy another mana receiver. Copy another mana receiver over here. And then we're literally just gonna do the same thing, I think, like all the way along here. Is this gonna work? Sure. What the heck? Right. Remove these resources. Don't love removing mana shards, but it's fine. Right. Splitter. This needs to be reversed. Fine. And that in there, that in there. That in there. Cool. As long as we can get it set up to work like so, then that is great. Alright, split there, split there. Cool. I don't really care about what's going where, as long as it's getting refreshed. It doesn't actually matter where it goes to me, if that makes sense. So the splitting doesn't necessarily have to happen entirely evenly. Although it would be better if it did. It would definitely be better if it did. Yeah. I wonder. I think I got a solution for this. Okay, here's the solution. Solution is that we first split it here. First split it here into two. Yeah, okay. This is the way. We first split it in two over here, and then we split it in two over. We split it in two again. So we split it evenly, 50-50, and then we split it evenly here, 50-50. Okay, so it's going to take a little while to catch up because a lot of these recharges have got depleted crystals in them already, but we'll be able to catch up in no time, I suspect. Also, another problem that I didn't really anticipate is the transmitter is not managing to transmit enough crystals. So let's introduce a secondary backup transmitter to help with all of the throughput. Very good. And that system looks scalable. There is a slight problem. The slight problem is that we're out of blue coins. That is a bit of a bummer. However, the amount of magma that we've got coming through here is exceptional. That's really, really good to see. Still, though, doesn't look like we're making much progress with the forges over here. Actually, tell a lie. We are making progress with the forges. Yeah, that looks not too bad. That looks not too bad at all. We're not quite back to iron surplus yet, and there are a lot of areas which are actually requesting iron at this moment in time. Pipes, of course, we used. Belts, of course, we used. But it's a step in the right direction for sure. It's a step in the right direction for sure. And magma is only going to be used more and more and more going forward. Let's toggle these both to input so that we're only going to be able to draw down on our magma supplies. We're actually very, very close to breaking even. We're almost there. We're almost there. One additional magma shrine, I think, would... Look at that. We've actually managed to catch up with ourselves. That's really, really cool. Okay, how many fire crystals do we have? Ooh, almost enough. Almost enough to make another trio. Cool. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna set up a brand new set. There we go. And as soon as we have more, whatever it is, mana bricks. Where are they made? Mana bricks are made here. Oh, mana bricks require blue coins. Yeah, that's not hot. That's not good. That is not good. That is not good at all. Blue coins definitely need to be rectified. I do need to get this water temple set up and operational. Look at this. We're only using magma now, and we are drawing down on our magma supplies a little bit, but that's fine. Is it possible for me to just add this mana production to the next belt? This doesn't look good, to be honest. What about two fire shrines to a single belt? It's probably going to increase magma production a little bit more. Not by much, maybe. Yeah, that looks like we're in surplus. Okay, so this setup, as janky as it may be, is actually working. We need 40 bricks, 40 magical bricks in order to in order to make this process just work a little bit better. But that is fine. Look at that. Look at that. I think we've fixed iron. I think that we have fixed iron. Yeah, we have almost certainly fixed iron there. Yeah, that is looking very, very positive. Look at that. Look at the amount of fuel that we have here. And as soon as we move to full-time magma, it's gonna be even better. I think that's us fixed iron. I genuinely don't think that we're gonna have to return to the iron area again unless there is some sort of devastating collapse in the yellow coin economy. Because if we run out of yellow coins, this area stops working. Fire shrines do not use them, but the rechargers do. Goodness gracious me, they use a lot of yellow coins. Not to mention, of course, that the iron forges also use yellow coins, but you know, not a huge deal. Look, I'm happy with that. That's some real progress. That's some real progress. We actually have magma. It only took us a little while. Not to mention the fact that we completed all of the elemental researches that we can. We've managed to stockpile a couple of additional crystals over here, which is excellent. Specialty goods, we know how that's going to work. We have a roadmap. We know how we're going to get our blue coins back. It's just a case of doing it. So on that note, folks, we're going to wrap this episode up. Thank you ever so much for watching. Thanks, as ever, to the fantastic Patreon supporters over at patreon.com/potato. Also, thanks to Banana and C-Senpai for being the two $25 plus tier patrons. Thank you very, very much for watching, folks. I'll see you next time. Bye.